Hello. So today let's talk a little bit about expectations. Should we have expectations? I would say yes, if we are willing to let go of the attachment to the expectation whenever needed. So then, yes, expectations are good for us and it's good for the ones we love. If we are willing to let go of the attachment to the expectations whenever needed. Okay? So expectations that comes with control or that serves the function of demanding something and expecting and holding on to the idea of we should get what we want, then it's very damaging and it's a setup for being disappointed for sure. But an expectation as a wish for love to do better for ourselves and a wish that someone we love do better for themselves, or an expectation of something that we want will happen, that only promotes well-being for us and the ones we love, and that only helps us to manifest a more fulfilling life and to get the chance of being the person that we want to be and to get the life that we want to be and get the life that we want. So let's look a little bit deeper into what that means, what it is to have sort of unattached expectations. Again, I talked before about the relationship between a child and a parent. So a child needs a lot of support, but also needs a lot of encouragement to do things that they are scared of. So they also need expectations in order for them to learn how to have healthy expectations of themselves, in order to learn how they are worthy to get what they want in life. When you have expectations on your child, you learn them to have expectations on themselves. So do you learn how they expect abundance for themselves, abundance in their life, that they are worthy of living the lives that they want. So that is what expectation can do. So an expectation is more like a way to express your love for someone or for yourself. It's really to see someone and what they're capable of. So if you have a child, you see the child and what it wants to do and what it likes, and then you can see that how it's scared of doing things that they like because of different reasons. And then as a parent, you want to encourage it, you want to listen, you want to validate, but also push a little bit. So yeah, I believe you can do this. Let's do it together. I will come with you. And it's okay if we don't do it. You don't need to do this, not at all, but just try it to see how it is. And that's promoting that you have an expectation that the child can do better for him or herself. However, it might be that you discover that no, this wasn't actually what the child wanted right now. It wasn't ready for it. It didn't want to do it in this way. And then you need to immediately drop your expectation. So that's the dance. You can have the expectation. Let's do this. I believe in you. But then if it doesn't work out or the child doesn't want it, then you need to drop the expectation. No, okay, yeah, that's okay. We don't have to do it, and it's fine. We tried, and we discovered that it wasn't for you, so we don't have to do it. And the same thing goes for you, that it's very healthy to have expectations on yourself, to always grow, to have expectations on yourself, to learn how to love yourself, to have expectations on yourself, to learn how to be present, to learn how to just be, to learn how to do nothing, to learn how to enjoy love, to learn how to receive love, to learn how to give love. It's very good to have those expectations on you. I can do it. I can reach that. I can reach a life of fulfillment. I can get abundance of love and of everything I want in my life. I have an expectation on myself and on my life that it's possible. It's no problem to have an expectation like that. It's not that it comes with that it comes with a threat of it. If you don't reach that, then you will be a failure. It doesn't come with control or with a threat or with a demand. It's just a wish. It's a supportive belief in you. I expect you to do better because I know you can. Why do I know that you can? Because I know that you are worthy of all this. I know you are a good person. I know that you can do whatever you set yourself up to do if it's meant to be for you. I believe in you. So having an expectation is basically to love someone deeply and to really be attentive what the person wants and how the person escapes or avoid doing what it wants because it doesn't believe in itself. So, for example, if you had a parent who didn't have any expectation on you, who loved and supported you in whatever, so maybe you got an experience of love. However, you didn't get an experience of someone, seeing when you sort of avoided something, or when you got too scared, and when you didn't believe in you didn't get an experience of the parent then seeing that and encouraging you to do it anyway, to pushing through and to be present. And I can come with you to that training or whatever that you're too scared to do, or let's do it together. We can do it together. You didn't get an experience which will later in life give you an experience of how you have difficulty to push through, and also probably difficulty to handle demands or handle expectations. So, for example, if you are then in a relationship where your partner has expectations on you to do better in the relationship, you probably will interpret that as critique or as demands, and you will avoid, because your experience of love is just that it's only this passive support. But love is also very active support, which might be to be annoying, to push. I think you can do better than this. However, we also have the personality who maybe had parents who had a lot of expectations on them, who only, who engaged a lot in pushing through. I think you can do this, and yeah, just go after it, and you can do better. And that person didn't get an experience how it's accepted if you don't push through things, and then you get very much seek achievement all the time, and it becomes expectations, but in a demanding way, because you think that your existence or your worthiness is dependent on if you live up to the expectations, if you live up to your parents' expectations. And then in a relationship, if you're with the person who doesn't expect a lot in the relationship, then you might be frustrated, and you become the one who expects a lot. Don't accept the person as it is, because you don't accept the person as you are. So those are the two extremes, with no expectations and a lot of only expectations. And you want to sort of, again, find the middle, where you have expectations coming from a source of love and play, not from a source of fear. Okay, so that's the whole difference. If you have expectations on you or other people coming from a source of fear, it will be controlling and demanding, or passive. And that might also be the reason if you have no expectations at all, is because you're scared to have expectations, because you're associate it with failing, with your worthiness. So you want to have expectations coming from your love and support for yourself and or for other people that you have expectations on. And that also then gives you the possibility to let go of the expectation when needed, when the timing is not right, when the circumstances are not good for these expectations, so you need to let go of them. And that is impossible if you have expectation made out of fear, because then you will be scared and you will be disappointed, because you got very attached to the outcome of this expectation, and when the outcome isn't what you wished for, then you will be scared and you will be disappointed. So that's the sign that if you get disappointed when your expectations doesn't get met, it's a sign that it doesn't come from love. If it comes from love, you will be more equipped to let go of your expectation when it's not met. So how does this look like in a relationship, for example? Well, to have expectations on yourself all the time, to be more attentive, to be more listening, to listen more to yourself, and eventually then your partner, because that always goes in hand in hand. And the more you are able to listen to yourself and get to know yourself better, the more able are you to let go of getting to know yourself and start to get to know your partner instead. It's like you cannot do it the other way around, to first get to know your partner and ignore yourself. It's not going to work out. You need first to get to know yourself, so have that expectation first, so that then you can promote love in getting to know the other person. And then you can have expectations on the other person when you know the other person very well. You can have expectations, but not as in, I want you to be like this for me. I expect you to do this and this for me. If you do that before you can do it for yourself, then the expectation will most likely come out of fear, because you need the other person to be in a certain way in order for you to be okay. So again, as I said before, then you're skipping a step. You're skipping yourself. You're cheating. You first need to know how to, say, regulate yourself first, or how to make yourself content first, how to comfort yourself first. And then you, instead of expecting your partner to do it, you can instruct, if you will, your partner to do it. Or your partner actually will be curious, will want to be that person for you when you can do it for yourself. So that expectation, when you say, I expect you to be like this for me, without you doing the work yourself first, that's cheating. And that's often an unhealthy expectation. But if you have like an expectation of, I expect you to do this for you, I expect you to learn this and this behavior because I know that you need it. I see that you avoid doing this and this, and that you feel bad because of it. So I will support you and I expect you to do better. I accept you as a person, but I expect you to better as a person, because I know you can. I want to know. I want to believe you can, and I believe in you. But then you have to back off, and you have to drop the expectation when you expressed it. And sort of the same goes for you. When you have expressed your expectation, you sort of also have to back off from yourself a little bit, and just let yourself rest in your capacity and your expectation. So that's the whole dance, to, for sure, voice your expectation, express it, have a lot of expectations on yourself and on life, but then also back off and be ready that your expectations will not be fulfilled. And that's also, I would say, the recipe for loving yourself and the recipe for loving someone else as he or she is. Because then you do both. You have got to know the person, you see the person, and you know your partner so well that you know what can develop and grow more, and you expect that growth. So you can only expect that growth because you first accepted the person as he or she is, because you got to know the person very well. So that's a very nice recipe for love and for acceptance and for growth in a relationship. You get to know the person, and then you know also what can grow in the person, and you expect that, but let go of the expectations when needed and accept. So you do the balance of, I accept you as you are, and I expect this. And the funny thing is, lastly, that the more you expect, the more you learn to accept. And the more you accept, the more you learn to expect. And it's really that dance between acceptance and expectations, both in life and in relationships and relationship between child and parent. It's that stance, which can also be described between holding on and letting go, and all of those contrary relationships. So I expect you to accept this, and I accept that you don't leave comments in the comment section of how you perceived it, but I expect that you do. But I let go of that expectations now as soon as I've said it. But yeah, please comment if you like this and if you have any thoughts about it, so it motivates me to create more content for you. So thank you very much